Hello respected viewers, I'm George from Ireland. I've been off air for quite some time. But anyway, here I'm in Antalya, Turkey. So Antalya is a very ancient city. It's founded by King Atlos of Pergamon in about 159 before Christ, or before current era, as we're now encouraged to say in these ecumenical times. Here is a bit of the city wall. So this is a city on the Mediterranean Sea, about halfway along the southern coast of Turkey, and it's quite a popular holiday destination. So I'm near the how do you say, Kale İçeri, as in inside the castle, just beside the other side of this walls, where there is a bit of the castle, but the city walls, only sections of which remain. So the Russians are the largest single tourist nationality coming here. I've met Swiss, Kazakhs, Germans, Romanians, Moroccans, French people, Indians, any other nationalities, Dutch. I think that's it. Anyway, so this is a city. Well, the city itself is 1 million people, about 2.5 million people in the metropolitan area. So we're coming up to the Hıdırlık Tower, or it was named after the Emperor Hadrian, but in Turkish it's Hıdır. I wonder if the popular Muslim name Haydar is related to Hıdır. So this is from the 2nd century AD. About to show you some very fine Roman architecture. So it was built in 131 AD, and there's a road from Side, spelt side, came to here. So the Emperor Hadrian, he came here when he was traveling around this area called Pamphylia. That's what it was known back then. So there used to be some more inscriptions on the gate here, which are kind of missing now, or the bronze plates which are taken away for saying Lucia paid for these. It's now in the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford. So it underwent extensive repairs, 1961 to 62, this place. Astonishing to think that sort of 18 centuries of work are there. Well, it was 18 centuries ago or so. It was built 180 decades. Why not? Well, be a bit more if we're going to be precise about the decades. There we go. So, yes, very much part of the Roman Empire. Now, eventually, this was the Byzantine Empire when the Roman Empire split, and the Eastern Third was Greek-speaking, despite calling themselves Romaeoi, as in Greeks, as in Roman, sorry. And then it was obviously an officially Christian state. Then the Turks come out of Turkmenistan. They reached the eastern edge of Anatolia, eastern frontier of the Byzantine Empire in the late 11th century. It took them over 400 years to completely subjugate the Ottoman Empire, finally taking Constantinople or Istanbul in 1453. But and so they had no interest in these Christian books which came west. So the Saint Sophia's Cathedral, well, that became a mosque, Hagia Sophia, Holy Sophia, and it was used for worship until the 1920s, until Mustafa Kemal Atatürk secularized it, says it's a museum, and it's just gone back to being a place of Muslim worship this year. Some people think it's a retrograde step. But you do see minarets around. Look at the Karakash Jami, as in mosque. It's a larger mosque is called a Jami, as in a Friday mosque, Juma being like Friday, the main day of prayer. It's a Sunday, it's a day off work where there's not that many people around. So bear in mind, this is fairly low season, mid-September. Moreover, coronavirus is keeping people away. Even then, it's quite busy. I shudder to think what it would be like at a busy time of year, at high season. Well, in a busy year in high season. This is the sort of the shoulder season. So very fine handiwork, I think you'll agree. So I shall pass on, and then you can see a bit of a rut where the wagon wheels were. But surely they weren't that deep. How did they get just like that deep? These ruts like that. Anyway, and on into the old city, some of which is marvelously well preserved, and you can't swing a cat without hitting a restaurant or a souvenir shop. And there are a few hotels as well. Apparently some beaches near the centre. Where I'm staying, Lara Hotel, my main beef with it is it's a bit far out. There is a beach, but it's 170 steps down. And I saw some people with a tiny baby that obviously had to carry her or him all the way down, which would be quite tricky. There were 32 steps in a row at one stage, and then if you fall, you're going to fall all that way down. Anyway, so this is just a little bit of a taste of Antalya's old town. So I won't film as I go all the way through these lanes. They're not quite labyrinthine. Live music venues and so on. So plenty of people wearing what we consider ordinary clothes, what Occidentals would. Including women who are wearing sort of quite summery clothes, tight and revealing, you'd even say. And then there's some more conservative-minded Muslim women who are dressing in a very modest fashion. Okay, so I think that's probably sufficient taste of Antalya. I've not been to Turkey for over 3 years. I got faintly bored of it, to be frank, but anyway, it was an affordable place to come. One of the few places where you can do almost everything as normal. Like in the hotel, have to wear your mask when you're not actually eating or drinking or something like that. A bit of social distancing. Anyway, maybe two people in a lift. So perhaps you've got an idea of what Antalya is like. There are lots of ships going by, or party boats or whatever, with boom boom music, sailing boats, but they don't actually have their sails up. Okay, I know the engine's what's making it go, but it kind of spoils the illusion. Ooh, a map. Here we are. Okay, so I think you've had a taste of Antalya. So please follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. I've got to get into TikTok, sorry, yeah, and book online lessons with me. Get me to translate for me for all sorts of languages. I really need donations to keep the channel going. So please dig deep and give till it hurts. All right, that is enough from Antalya. Toodaloo.